Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Geekverse Podcast. I am one of your hosts, the mother, Taylor Field, and I'm joined by.
I am the lonely voyeur,
I
Kirkland Patzer.
just realized your name. That's good. Yeah, we are here because we're continuing on with episode 5 of Alien Earth. I think it was just you and me last week, wasn't it?
That's right.
Travis opted
Yeah,
out.
Travis got it eaten. He got, there's a xeno egg just gestating in his chest right now, ready to burst. Maybe it's already bursted. We haven't seen him in a while.
He thought it was a biological survey on rocks, and it didn't work out for him.
What a fool!
Yes, but before we get into the our non-spoiler thoughts and spoilers thoughts, a couple of plugs. You can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. Geekverse.ca is our home base. Geekverse Cast is our Twitter. Geekverse Podcast is our Facebook. I guess I shouldn't say Twitter yet anymore. It's X now. I gotta make sure I change that.
I think it's the same. I think if you search Twitter, it'll pop up. I'm not gonna do that in test, so somebody else is gonna have to go do that. But
someone else, yeah, someone
one
else
and the same
for us. But yeah, we got lots of stuff popping off right now. It is TV show like season right now because we got Alien Earth, we got Peacemaker season 2, we got Gen V the season 2 coming around the corner here, we got Dexter finale coming up here this Thursday. So lots and lots and lots of stuff going on, and we just the drop for it. Welcome to Derry. That's coming out end of October, so that'll be 9 episodes, I believe. So we're gonna be checking that out and reviewing it too, and then lots of stuff. Travis was working on the schedule today, and lots of things are kind of in driving around, seeing what's up, what's releasing soon. So lots of good stuff. In terms of movies, we're not doing a Conjuring Last Rites review because I'm out of town. So unless you want to go see it with Travis, then you guys can do a review. No, not happening. Okay.
I need my Joe Biden meme in here, but I think I'll get copyrighted for the music, so maybe I can't pull that one in. I'll use your reverse version.
Yes, that works. And that reverse version. So for context, Kirkland has the version of normal where Joe Biden's walking on the Michael Bay Transformers credits pops in, and so I did the reverse, showing like, no, I'm in. Like let's do this. I'm not walking away. I'm walking into the situation.
But you literally played the video in reverse, so it starts with the credits, and then it's the song like backwards. And at first, I'm like, what video did he send here? Like I thought you were just like a different movie because the song sounded different, but. Yeah, that one got me for a loop for sure. Inside joke.
Inside joke, yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, Patreon, ad-free early episodes. There's tons of stuff just on the Patreon. It's a good time. And we're going to be doing our this week GV top 10 bread and butter, I believe, TV shows, and was it video games?
Video games.
Video games,
we already did the movies, so this is the other set of 2.
That's right. So lots of good stuff. But the bestest of all the good stuff is the Patreon producers. We got a shout out here. Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, The Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randall, Cocktail Clay, and John with no H. Now, if you want to be a Patreon producer, we got slots of days. Just get in there, subscribe, and then you can you can make us watch a movie. You can submit questions and do tons of crazy stuff, because it's a great subscription to check in to. So yeah, there you go. Oh, what else is cooking up? We just did a bunch of side quest stuff. Well, I guess I did. We all did the trivia, which is a great episode. Go check that out. And then I did a side quest earlier this week where me and Dylan were talking heavy on the high divers, hell divers. And then Dylan was also talking about the new Prince of Persia game he was dabbling in on. And then we kind of break down the remaining games that are going to be releasing till this year and what kind of stuff Nintendo might have around the corner, because it is Nintendo's 40th anniversary. So that's coming up. That's this month, and for their 35th anniversary. I'm assuming I'm still in the call here. I'm live because Kirkland just disappeared. Okay, Kirkland's back. I thought I lost connection.
I accidentally hit the button. I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, it's probably happened once or twice before, but I actually just clicked leave room without even realizing it.
Well, it's better than end stream. So.
Yeah, that's true. It kept you going.
But yeah, lots of stuff popping off. But anyways, let's get into our non-spoilers thoughts here. Kirkland, how did you feel about this episode?
Yeah, episode number 5, I think it was. This one was titled "In Space, Nobody Hears You." ... Which is calling back to the OG Alien movie, and this movie or this episode in particular, minor spoilers. It's very much that. It's kind of a flashback episode to not the Nostromo, but just this ship and kind of picking up, filling in the gaps. Maybe I'll say not picking up, but yeah, just going over the stuff that was shown in the first episode, and I think this might be my favorite episode. It's not a perfect episode. There's definitely things in here that just have me head scratching, and certain canonical weight that this show is continuing to it's tempering me a little bit. I think before it's like, okay, I'm liking this stuff, but just the more I think about where it lies in the chronological order of things, of just the story of, and maybe there's a lot of people out there that this is working for them on like filling in the prequel gaps for the just the alien xenomorph universe as a whole, just throughout all the projects. But for me personally, it's bringing up more issues than not, and I think in this episode for sure it's like another one of those big where I like, especially at the end of the episode, I kind of had to be like, okay, I think I'm just gonna have to headcanon now for for stuff that I want and don't like, but which is fine. Everybody's allowed to do that. You can make your own headcanon, but I still think there is a lot of fun stuff in this episode. There's some fantastic camera work and like lighting, the claustrophobic feel of what like the other Alien movies have that take place on a spaceship. Like this one very much has it again, and not that we didn't have those moments throughout the season so far, but because this episode is just on a spaceship, like it feels so much more to that level. Yeah, no, I'm gonna save my thoughts on the characters till spoilers. Yeah, I guess non-spoiler stuff. I could say, adding on to what I was just finishing off with, like it definitely is a beautifully looking episode. I think just all like the practical effects that they use, whether it's the sets on the ship, it just looks so fantastic. And yeah, just like costumes and everything, it looks really good. There was couple little minor moments that they used CGI where it would really stood out, but I understood why they used it, and I think the fact that it was so like minor and used, yeah, just for a small amount of time, it didn't bother me as much. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. I think there was a lot of, I'll say like goofy stuff that happened too that like just added to my enjoyment because I was laughing like that it was even happening. I don't know if that brings down like the quality of I'll detail what that is when we get to the spoiler section. But it added to my enjoyment. So I had a fun time with those goofy moments, even if they were a little silly. And, to some people it might take them out of the scenes, especially if it's trying to be like a really intense, building up of like the anticipation that the Alien franchise does so well. Yeah, no, it some goofy stuff in here, and yeah, I think I'll leave it there because I don't want to slip of the tongue more than I already did. And I mean, I do recommend it. I still think it is a fun show to follow week to week, and they do a good job at setting us up and keeping the interest there. I think for even though like myself, it's not my favorite type of substance that they're adding to the Alien franchise in terms of like filling in on like the 5 companies and just what Earth is like, and just I don't know, stuff like that, the sciencey aspect to it. Like it's not personally what I would have wanted now that I know what I've gotten. But I mean, I'm kind of being nitpicky when it comes to that stuff. Like it is still cool that we're seeing a 2025 Alien TV show, and it still like looks really good, and maybe has some of the feel of what one of my favorite movies of all time started with. So I'll pass to you, Taylor. What do you think?
Cool. Yeah. I think that this episode is probably my favorite so far because of just the atmosphere and like the score, the sound bits that they drop in here. There's so many things that just call back to that original Alien that I really was just enjoying and eating up. Got a lot of backstory here that I also enjoyed, and there's certain scenes too. Like you're right, the CGI in certain moments was questionable. Could you tell that there's a guy in a suit? Absolutely, but I don't mind it. Like it kind of works for me because it just feels like the original 70s Alien movie, right? With the guy in the suit. What do you got? What do you
Okay.
got?
I mean, I wasn't gonna mention the xenomorph, but I guess it's the show Alien. There's a xenomorph in this episode, so spoiler. Um, my pushback there is that the one in the original Alien, the guy in the suit, is like very much not in the movie, right? Like you barely see him, and when you do, it's like a quick and like if
Yeah.
you pause it, you can be like, hey, that looks like a human to a T. But I think just in this episode alone, there was a lot of like full body. There's I'm spoiled it already, but there's just like a clash that happens, and it just looked like a dude in a suit. But I'm not gonna knock it for it. I like I was saying earlier, like I enjoyed it. It added to my goofy factor, but it's yeah, maybe not what I would have wanted to like I don't even know. I'm so conflicted on it because I enjoyed it, but still it's goofy. But do I enjoy the goofiness if I'm being all serious? Yes, sometimes.
Like it's tricky because most of the time we see xenomorphs, they are I don't know. They're very skinny, and you can't tell. And I don't even think that they really have people in suits for the later films. I mean, they must because they're not puppeteering them. I know, obviously, like AVPR, the Pred Alien is a guy in a suit for sure. But a lot of the time, like the aliens, the way that they're contorted and small, like you don't really see them stand upright like a
True.
human, right? So
A lot of
there's
close-ups, right? Like you see the head. That's like the most
yeah,
notorious of the mouth, and
that's
a lot of
right.
close-ups of that. So okay, I'll give you that one.
I can't see the
Like
full
in
body shot
Aliens,
of
we
this
see a
guy.
lot of aliens, but not really standing up and like looking like a humanoid, right? Like they're very serpentine and like slithering on the roof and crawling around. So it's kind of hard to see certain features, but you know.
Yeah. There's some photos you can see like Alien Earth of them putting like the suit on the character and whatnot. And I think too, like just the head is a lot bigger than the aliens that we've seen before. Like it felt like this head is like Resident Evil villain sized, you know. Like there's not nothing wrong with that.
I'd
Every
have to circle
Xeno is
back to the
different.
head. I would need a comparison.
But that aside, again, I like the episode. There were some very freaky things going on in here and just some very intense moments. So I think overall they did a very good job with it, and I'm excited to see where this is going to kind of go. I'm happy to get a little bit more of I don't want to call it a filler. Is it a filler? Yes, but it's just a good filler. You know, it's a satisfied meal that I got to have with this episode. So really really happy with it, and I think that they landed so many things to a T. The world building aspect is very very awesome too, which I guess we'll probably talk more about later in future episodes when we get a little bit more kind of scenery of just the different companies and how this world works, as we've never had that in Alien before, really, this emphasis and this showcase of how the economy and planet Earth is run now with things. But yeah, that's all I got for non-spoilers. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Maybe I'll throw a question your way. Do you think we're gonna see like another company before this season's over?
Ooh, that's a good
'Cause
question.
there's 2 in play right now, right? And then 5 total.
5 in total. I think I think we could see it.
Like just one. I think if anything, it would be like one at the end that leads us. That's the new factor that we have to deal with for whatever humans going forward. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that there's a chance, like when things are kind of contested, I think the other companies might step in and be like, "Well, da 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 da," they're gonna
John
want a piece
Hamm
of the
walks
pie.
out.
John Hamm, yeah,
CEO of the company.
exactly. But yeah, I think that they'd have to show the other companies at some point because, I mean, I don't think the other
If it
companies
keeps going.
well, I don't think the other companies really existed at the time, like before when they were doing alien stuff. I think it was just Wayland
Right.
Yutani was the main thing. It's now they've come forth and created like Prodigy and 3 other companies on top of that. So they must have some kind of part in the story for it, right? I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2 or anything. I don't know how far you can go with this story
Yeah.
because it's 2 years, right? 2 years before the original Alien. I think we
Yep.
talked about, yeah.
But like
So,
Ripley never goes to Earth, technically, right? So you could do anything.
just Earth's orbit.
Right. So then don't
Mhm.
delete Earth. We have to at least
No.
keep Earth. But we
Yes.
don't have to go on the ground. For all we
No
know,
boots on the
Pangea's
ground.
back. We don't know what's going on.
That's
From
right.
Ripley's point of view, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into spoilers now. So if you want to go watch the episode, go watch it and come back. But until then, you've been warned. So we'll be right back. And we are back. Those ad breaks, you can skip them. Just join the Patreon, and those ad breaks cease to exist. So yeah, support. I like that. Nice. That was good. That was good. All right. So where do you want to start off with in spoiler territory?
I had a thought, and it kind of fleeted me, but
Uh-oh.
I think it'll come back to me. Um, but yeah, I think a good place to start. My plan B for locations I want to start is just the I thought I had it for a second. Never, whatever. It'll come back to me. Is just where we are kind of in this episode and the fact that we know the end result, right? Like we've seen. I'll have to pull up the list of characters' names because I'm gonna butcher them all. But like the acting captain, the female lady there, like we've seen her get fucked up as Moreau is in the mother room, and then he just like seals the door on her. Like we've already seen that scene, so it's just an interesting factor, when you know the end result, but like the episode starts with all of them together, and like I was watching this episode with Shay, and I'm just like, see that character? Yeah, they're already dead. They're already dead. That character, yeah, they're dead too. Everyone's dead but Moreau, essentially, in this circumstance, which I think can be. I can understand people like having. I don't know. Maybe I disagree with that actually, because I like the idea of showing us like the end and then filling in the cracks within like one season. I'm glad it wasn't like a finale. I think there would have been some lackluster stuff there, because this episode very much feels like just like a mini short Alien movie, right? Like we kind of go through all the main points, instead of like making contact with something. It's like, hey, they already have the specimens. First time we see someone that interacted with the eggs, like they're already on them, like they're already face hugging one of the dudes. His throat's just burnt completely off. Like they're escalating here, but it's underway, right? And it definitely follows the same idea of like eventually it bursts out. Now we got a Xeno on the ship, but they don't really know what's going on. I did like the added factor of like the other specimens that we're trying to kind of deal with. We also have an arsonist on the ship that's doing stuff there. So I really liked just the setup of what's happening, of like I already mentioned all those different factors, and we're kind of following mostly just Moreau. We kind of bounce in on everyone, but he is the security guy. He's trying to figure out what the fuck is happening on his ship, and I just liked following that character, and that's a character that's been very just a big question mark, I think, throughout the whole season. Like we knew that he had a daughter because we assumed he had a daughter because of what he told the one lost boy. I think it was just last week's episode, but that could have been a lie, right? Until we actually see it, which we did this episode, and we see that he truly did have a backstory there. So we learned some more about that character, which I am totally interested in now. A little bit less so because of the last scene. Like I feel like it came down to some point decimal notches, but I really like the actor. I think he's doing a standout job of just being so cold and calculated, especially being a cyborg, not a synth like Timothy almost said Chalamet, Oliphant, where he's like a very robotic, like just he doesn't show emotion or anything, whereas Moreau very much gets that he gets angry, he gets in people's faces. But I just think it's such a killer performance for that type of role, especially usually we have the synths in that position, right? Whether it's Bishop or I always forget the aliens guy, the MVP.
Oh my god. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Oh, what is his name? It's like a
Apologize, audio listeners. You're probably screaming at your headphones right now.
Oh my god. It's right there, man.
You keep pondering. But yeah, we have the cyborg character. Now I'm in the back of my head thinking about who it could be. But just following him and him dealing with this crew. I don't even know what point I was on. Ash. There we go. MVP Ash. Yeah, shouts out to Ash. He was a real one, but Why was I on the Moreau topic? Oh yeah, just getting back to what I was at the start of saying. Yeah, what do you feel about the setup here, Taylor? Of us knowing the end result, but just going through the whole elements. Then, of course, as we're ramping up, characters are dying now. Moreau's in the mother like room, so we kind of know exactly where we are right now. So yeah, how did this hit for you? Because for me, it worked, at least the pacing and the spacing of everything on how they did this.
Pacing and the spacing. I like that. Um, I I usually have sometimes a problem with knowing where it's gonna end, but I think for the most part, like I'm down to see the adventure. I'm down to see the action. Like I'm the kind of guy like if we got a Clone Wars movie live action, I'm there. Sign me up. I know how it's gonna end, but I'm ready and willing. Let's do it. So in this context, yeah, getting to see how the ship falls apart, I like it. I like the introduction of the saboteur. I like the introduction of just of degree of other factors that are incorporated. And you're right, there are some absolute goofy people doing goofy things here, but it almost seems like it's I think it looks goofy because we're seeing it from a different perspective. And I'm assuming you're meaning the lady that's like checking out the bugs and like putting the rat in the bug tin and like the eyeball playing games. Everything with the eye, I wasn't sure how I would like it. And the other things, like the other creatures that we've seen so far, they seem very animalistic. Like they're obviously very parasitical, but they're very animalistic and they just have one instinct, right? It's like, okay, I just need to survive and reproduce like any living creature needs to do to survive. That's what they do. And so when you look at the eye is different because it's intelligent, but not intelligent from the same point of like a xenomorph. A xenomorph is very intelligent. It can learn. You can't I don't want to say you can reason with it, but you can have acknowledgments with it because if you're threatening the queen, for example, a xenomorph is going to back off and listen to the queen. So there's different types of varying degrees of intelligence. And so in that scene in particular with the crazy lady drinking the water, not drinking the water, but fucking around, uh, I liked how the eyeball was operating because it's just being different, a different form of intelligence. Like it was like it had like an evil super villain human intelligence to it compared to a xenomorph where it's thinking as a hive mind intelligence and like survivability, which I like. Like I like how the eye was tapping on the glass, getting the woman to look away so it wouldn't notice the insect crawling out. And I
At
thought,
first, I thought it was on her side. Like,
yeah,
that dude
look
just
out.
fucked with your water. That guy just fucked with your water. I was like, oh my god, what is happening here? We're going down like a hero route with this fucking eyeball. But I'm glad they didn't go that way.
I'm glad they didn't go that way either. That sent me for a loop though. Just I thought the woman was gonna drink it, but I was thinking back to the first episode. And they're like, oh, this guy's got things in his intestines or whatever. They're not there now. And I was thinking, okay, how's this gonna play out in this episode? Or, yeah, just as soon as it crawled on top of the bottle and shot that shit down into the water. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I am interested in the eyeball creature. I'll say that. I did not like that scene at all. Other than Moreau, I think this is like the dumbest fucking crew that Wayland Utani could have assembled. Like, man, the just going down the list, like the science person, the lady in the lab that just munching a Big Mac, open food. She's working with like alien species, and I imagine she knows at least like some minor things when it comes to science levels. You know, she must be a doctor. I'm saying science levels, so clearly I'm not a doctor, but like still, I feel like the thing they teach you in like science school elementary when you're working with stuff is like PPE, cleanliness, and like actual like just taking it seriously, where she's just like licking her fingers. She's got her giant water bottle that they just emphasize is just like completely filled to the brim. She puts it down and it's just like juicing all over the place. We do a zoom in shot on the water. Okay, something's gonna go in the water. That is the most obvious foreshadowing. And then giant sandwich out. They have zero fucking like locking mechanisms on these devices. Now I'm not saying they have to know that these aliens are like intelligent, but still, like I just it baffles me that this little bug thing, like we actually get like a lockpick scene where it like opens up this cylinder, gets out, just so ridiculous.
But there's a cap, right? There's supposed to be a cap that goes on, and the guy gives her shit about
Fair
it.
point. Actually, I kind of forgot about the cap. but like
she's still
still,
stupid.
this guy who's not like this clearly isn't his role. That's her lab, and he's like, you should probably have the fucking cap on, eh? And she's like, oh, I normally do. Oh, right, yeah, so dumb of me. Fucking idiot of a character. That was bugging me so much. Who else? The new captain, who's like just so emotionally compromised. I don't know how she became the captain in this situation. She like freezes up anytime anything happens. She can't make a decisive choice. She can't even fucking get like the apprentice guy to pay attention to her when they're having the meeting. It was just a very pathetic crew, and knowing that this is the one that's like responsible for like just getting like the actual species, like this is more important than what Ripley's crew was supposed to be doing, right? And they had Ash with it, or not Ash. That's aliens now. They had Bishop. They had Ripley. You know who Ripley was like. I think she did a lot more than maybe what she should have done on paper. But she was a hero in disguise. But I still think just comparing these two crews, like even the who's like my favorite character that just freaks out in Alien, when she's like, no, not that way.
Name?
Not that way.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on all names right now. This is hurting me. But anyways, even that character I feel like would be a lot more competent than pretty much anyone on this roster. We have a couple more moments with the engineer guy, like the main engineer who's always with that kid, like the apprentice guy, who I feel like when we first saw him in episode 1, I'm like, oh, this guy's just a total asshole, just grumpy. But in this one, they actually gave him like some more human traits, so I appreciated that at least to an extent. But so yeah, I would say that guy was more of the smarter ones. I don't think there was any big moment that just had me pulling my hair out like it did for many of just what's going on here. And nobody really seemed to care when like people died either. Like when Moreau first goes in there, he wakes up, he's like fucking rock hard. He's got no underwear on. He has underwear on. I'm just adding a little bit of substance to the scene. Anyways, goes into the lab and there's just two face huggers on these two characters like, I don't know what to do. I tried prying them off, and yeah, it just I cut it, slit his throat, it melted through, and they just like have no reaction to what's going on, as if they seen this face hugger, like as if they watched the Alien movie back in the 70s, and they're like, I know exactly what this thing actually is. I don't know, just like their behavior in that scene really bothered me. I'm gonna pass the mic because I've been rambling on these crew members. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And then what do you think about Moreau and anything else I said? I apologize. I was rambling.
So no, don't apologize. The context of Moreau and his backstory with the daughter, losing the daughter because of like a house fire. I think it was like 8 years into his 65-year mission.
Fuck. How are you still motivated? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this 8 years in out of your 65%, and like in the letter it even said like her possessions will be handed to you in 53 years time. It's like, fuck, man, that's brutal.
It's not even a quarter of the way into your trip, and you're
No.
already just feeling like shit. I mean,
100%.
Jesus Christ, yeah. So, his motivations now are purely his work, and so I like that, and I like how, I like how he's not dark and like evil or brooding, but he's just like, okay, no, everyone's expendable, even myself. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna go about it. Yada yada yada. And I like that he wants to take command. I really like everything with Morrow. I really like that character a lot more now after this episode and seeing everything. Is he still a piece of shit at the end of it because he doesn't let the girl in? Yes, and if he let the girl in, what would have happened? Two of them wouldn't have fit in that pod. Only one of them would have got in there, and he knows that he's willing to go and complete the mission, and she's not. She was freaking out, everything like that. So it came down to, as much as he's a jerk, he's following the orders and doing the mission, and that's what he's committed to. And even after the crash, he's committed to it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff with the crew, a lot of them are idiots. And I like, this is where the saboteur kind of makes his entry, and I like that a lot. Just them with the fire going on, and then you see him checking out the video feeds, and you see, okay, this is where the facehuggers come into play and do their impregnating, and then the guy just trying to cut the tail off. They know about the xenomorphs, it seems like, because they have that debriefing, and they say, okay, we're dealing with a xenomorph, but it's like they don't know how. It's tricky. Because we don't know exactly the extensive backstory of where they got the eggs from and the history here of what they know. They know that these things impregnate, but are we to assume that, okay, one of these landed on one of them because they know that a lot of their crew members have died collecting all these specimens. So one of them maybe got planted, and then they couldn't get the facehugger off. They had to leave him behind. I don't know how that would have really worked, but they didn't know. What I'm trying to get is they didn't know the final size of what the xenomorph would get into. Like, how big do these things get? So they didn't know that stage yet, which to me tells me, okay, they dealt with it at an early stage. They knew the baselines. They knew that it was going to burst out. They know that they could basically survive in the vacuum of space, which is a great foreshadow to the xenomorph and Alien, and then Alien Romulus, because that xenomorph did survive in the vacuum of space. So yeah, it's just interesting to see and learn a little bit more about the backstory here, about what their knowledge extension? No, their knowledge consisted of, and what they were aware of with these creatures. And again, ill prepared, so like, yeah, not very smart at all. Getting to the lady with the food in the lab, man, I'm totally with you. Like, when I'm working with equipment, and I have a desk away from my machines that I'm operating. Yeah, yeah. I'm leaning over stuff I printed, dropping like jam and peanut butter all over the prints and stuff. Oh
man, and it bugs me so much that like she actually saw the giant fucking bug that got out and was just like squirming around in her sandwich, and she still like took that water. Like, there's no chance that I feel like I would have to deep scrub everything. I wouldn't even touch my pen, let alone grab my open water bottle. Who leaves the fucking water bottle just open anyways, even if it's not in a science lab? It's another grievance I have. But yeah, no, she is so stupid and she deserved to drink the water and have the bloody cough, honestly. Like, I think she got off way too easily with the little fart spray that the bugs give them.
Oh, yeah, I think that was just a quick way to kill off some people. But hey, I mean, I don't remember. I'll have to rewatch that first episode, but they say like all crew is dead, but like there were still crew in the capsules. But I guess they died in the crash, died in their sleep, I imagine. Yeah, so that's
maybe Moreau like shut off the cryo or something, because he talks to Mother before they crash and says all crew is deceased, right?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like it'd be kind of a cardinal sin if he wasn't truthful, right? Like, what if the lady in the hallway just mano a mano took on the Xeno and she's alive right now?
Well, speaking of taking on the Xeno, I mean, fucking Buddy Elder Mechanic sure did. Like, and I know it wasn't him.
Okay, we're kind of all over the place, but I'm glad you went there, because this was like a highlight for me. I actually. I really loved what was going on with the eyeball thing. I don't love how this scene's taken place before the goat scene, because I thought that was like a big moment of when it takes over the sheep, in was last week's episode now? It's all blended together for me. But yeah, in last week's episode, it takes the goat, because it's like, okay, how is it going to take this vessel and get into a human? And then now, I've already seen the human variant, so a little bit less exciting for when we eventually get there. Looking creepy for sure. The behavior was great, kind of like zombie, but still very intelligent. So I think I just like that creature and kind of the factor of what it has going on for itself. For the most part, I'll talk about the scene at the end. It's kind of at the end of this scene anyway, so I'll just keep going. Yeah, you got the eyeball guy do his fucking war cry, and then Alien comes in. It's like, you called for me? Like, I thought it was like they're working together now, and they're going to explain this eyeball is like the chief commander of these Xenos. And I instantly, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, I think I said that out loud. I was so disgusted with the idea of what was going to be happening, that these Xenos, these like most intelligent, things in the galaxy, like just the prime alpha species, just a perfect organism, as David would say, is led by these eyeball things. Like, just that possibility popped in my head. Glad it isn't the case, because they ended up clashing. And you get fucking Bert and Ernie, this guy with his eyeball, just fucking tackle it. And I've aired my grievances with maybe the lack thereof power level when it comes to the Xeno. Specifically in this show, there's been multiple scenes. In this episode also, it had the same scene where the Xeno locked eyes, like literally this close. For the audio listeners, I'm like within 5 inches of each other. And then right after that, it goes to like a insane speed chase where this lady is now like 500 meters in front of the Xeno. Like, I don't understand that logic. This is the second time.
Well, it trips her, right? And then it's gonna make a pounce on her, but she pulls a quick one and gets up and runs really fast.
But like you know what I'm talking about though. Like the camera shot that's chasing her. I'm like, okay, she's ran 500 meters, no less, in this hallway, and the Xeno was right in front of her, and it couldn't fucking take her out. whatever. It's for dramatic effect. I'll give it a pass. But getting back, I'm getting side railed again. Getting back to this guy with the eyeball who just fucking jumps on the Xeno and like grabs its head and like he's just he's riding him like a jockey, like it's Left 4 Dead, like on his head, and the Xeno is like freaking out, like freaks out, and for I don't know 5-10 seconds after that, the Xeno remembers it has a tail, starts stabbing him in the body. Wins the duel by the end of it for sure. At least the human version of it, the eyeball. That's like stage 2 of the fight. But in that moment, I honestly thought for a second that this thing was gonna just beat the shit out of the Xeno and just like break its back and just win. I thought it was just gonna win the battle. And I'm like, hey, this eyeball thing is definitely taking over the body. It probably doesn't feel pain to the same extent, but like, that's not a superhuman. Like, it's the same guy's strength. Maybe it's elevated by like point whatever that the eyeball can give him. But I'm like, why did the humans not just fucking tackle these things? And like this mechanic who's got like, farmer strength. We've seen Marines. We've seen like just so many capable fighters take on these Xenos in the past, and it just doesn't seem like they have any chance of hand-to-hand combat. But in this moment, this one fucking mechanic just didn't win, but beat the shit out of the Xeno in my eyes.
Like, I'm definitely, like, if the Xeno's in front of me, I'm not going to go toe-to-toe, hand-to-hand with it, because
I'm jumping for the head. I'm jumping for the... if I'm with my loved ones and I have to defend my life, I'm going to be like, there's a chance. There's a chance I win this. I'm going to go for the Mike Tyson bite the ear. His
that's what he did.
Dug into him.
He bit that fucker. He made him bleed a little bit for sure. Oh my god.
If it bleeds, I can kill it. That's what the eyeball guy was thinking in that moment. I just couldn't believe his teeth like punctured the skin too. It's just stuff like that. It does bug me because it's like, this is the perfect organism. Counter argument. Maybe it's a youth. Maybe it's a different strain or something. Some other argument you can give me. I don't like it. This is a xenomorph. These things should be able to just like shred through the human in like just an instant. So that bothered me for sure. But at the same time, I was laughing and having a good time, and it was just so ridiculous. So I did enjoy it on its own. But like thinking about this again, 2 years before Ripley does her heroics and takes on the Xeno with her giant mech machine that she's actually able to take on. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So.
Yeah, the whole duel of the gods was just absolutely
Duel of Fate
bonkers.
starts playing.
Duel of Fates. Oh yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was just it made me laugh, and I was enjoying it and eating it up, because especially when he bites into his neck and it's going crazy, and then that's just phase 1, because when Xeno throws old man down and eats into his neck, the Xeno thinks he's won, but then the eye jumps onto its head and the Xeno just freaks the fuck out again. And the Xeno doesn't have an eye, so it can't get in there, and even if it did, it would melt in the acid. But this just, there's something about just when aliens freak out, it's just, I don't know, you're dealing with something that always tries to be in control of the situation, is always a step ahead of its target, because it's a master hunter predator kind of creature. And so when they're caught in these situations and they're screaming and freaking out, I don't know, I enjoy it. And just the context of this, with the old man biting it and throwing fists, like it was really, really good. And so I'm happy we got to see that, because you don't get to see a xenomorphs face off against other aliens really that much. I mean, Prometheus is a whole can of worms, but I'm gonna ignore that. But when you see predators, Yautja facing off against them, that's super cool. And then humans doing their own thing, the mech suits, the colonial marines, yada yada yada. But just to get another species, a parasite like this, invade into a human being and then go toe to toe, I thought they were teaming up for a second there after the previous scene with the little insects, but this thing clearly, like, why it was roaring, I don't know. But I liked Morrow in that scene where he's just the creature walks towards him and he raises his gun, and the eyeball thing backs up, and Morrow's like, no, fuck no, fuck you, back up. Like,
him,
then what choice did he have? He had to zap him, because the xenomorph comes up behind him and he's like, fuck, like what do you do in this situation? But that was pretty good. And then just the girl, I thought the girl was dead there in that scene, because it's like eyeball man just choked her and threw her down, and then stood off in the distance and stared at her. Like,
when Moreau gets in the door and he's like, just awkwardly like 45 degrees, like 10 meters back, and he's just staring at him with a creepy eye, and I'm like, oh man, like he must have ripped her throat out, but she's like moving around and like doesn't look
fine.
too damaged. So very, very bizarre. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the eyeball thing for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just interested in like kind of what's gonna happen with it. So, and if it's gonna, because I assumed it did, because it's very obviously a parasite, right? Like it replaces things' eyes,
Yes.
things that have eyes. As you mentioned, the Xeno doesn't have eyes, right? Like they just use their senses to kind of get around. Their sniffers and
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something I'm actually going to highlight after this quick ad break. The concept of this creature having eyes is it threw me for a loop because when we're looking at all these different invasive parasitic species, the fact that we're dealing with one that has this eyeball implies like, okay, like what kind of aliens out there are we dealing with that have eyeballs? Because I feel like eyeballs are a very much an earthly thing. But if we're going around the galaxy, I guess we got the Yautja that have eyeballs too. There are the
right.
space jockeys that do have their eyeballs as well. But this eyeball in
Weren't
particular,
we modeled
like,
after the space jockeys? Isn't that the whole Prometheus?
we
storyline?
were,
Or I guess it's
yeah.
like not clearly answered, if that was
We
the case.
well, we were technically in the how the history goes, but like I don't know, like for example, let's look at a Yautja eyeball here because
Let's
just the
get
one
Yautjas on here.
the one that we're looking at in the creature, like this
Fuck, who's
yeah.
that guy? Who's that chap?
He looks very familiar. I'm not sure
Yautja
where
eyes.
he's from.
How do the predators see?
ABP Central. Where is he here? Is he in this ad? Oh,
There he
yeah.
is.
Behind the scenes, the creation of Yautja eyes to the big screen involves a combination of practical effects, visual effects, the use of intricate contact lenses. Famously, Kevin Peter Hall portrayed both. That's right. That's where I recognize him. He played both Predators in Predator 1 and Predator 2,
Oh, City
wearing
Hunter.
yellow contact lenses. Yeah, there we go.
Looking like Anakin.
But yeah, so the eyeballs on this predator, they're different from what human eyes are like. And this creature, its eyes are very human like, but the way they look, it's like how a fly looks.
I never realized. Go back to that photo. Look at the predator's mouth. Like right
You
in the
never
dead
noticed
center.
that?
I've never. It looks very similar to something.
You've never noticed that? Watch Predator 2. That looks like
I've
like
seen Predator
frame
2.
Oh, it's like spitting image.
Okay. I didn't know this is an established thing. I don't think we talked about that on the retro.
Never talked. Oh, maybe on the retro, but I know Travis has mentioned it. These things, their faces
There you
for
go.
sure.
It's like I know the thing's dangerous, but don't tempt me, Frodo.
Oh, okay. So
Now
here
we got fly's eyes.
We got fly's eyes. Yeah. So I'll try and See, here you go. How
Funny
a
enough,
fly sees.
actually, I think next week's episode is titled "The Fly," so I don't know if that's relevant.
Really?
Or anything, but
Oh,
yeah.
let's see. Episode 6. 65.
There was no alien.
Calm down. Calm down.
The Fly. Look
The
at that.
fly. There you go. Okay, well, you know what?
It all ties
I bet
to
you
this.
it ties to the the fly's vision. It's the eye. Look at that. We're paving the way here. This vision. It's the same way. This is what the eye sees. It's the fly vision. Yeah. I don't know. It's not really leading anywhere. It's just
The eyes.
the eyes.
Yeah, really cool design on the creature. But I guess like what do you think's gonna happen with the creature? Do you think it's gonna be one of those things where like it wants the Xeno? Because it seemed to call the Xeno, right? Like I want you, meet me at the highest point. We'll clash.
It
Defend our
did.
father's
Yeah.
honor.
It I feel like because the Xeno was gone, then it called it back, and I feel like it called it back specifically to try, I guess, to try a team up, but it didn't. I don't know. Maybe it got pissed off
How are
because
you
of
dropping
it being
memes right now
shocked.
while I'm talking to you? And I just saw you search
I'm just
like 6
I'm just so
different things.
smooth.
You didn't even slow down. Okay, carry on. You're
I gotta
good at
keep
what you do.
my meme game up. I don't know why I just feel like it was provoked when it was being attacked by Moro from the electricity, and thought maybe we could have teamed up, but then it just got super pissed off at this. I'm not sure. It's just the context of things got escalating really, really fast. So I don't know, but it'll just be interesting to see how it's going to pan out with this creature, because I like how smart it is, and I wasn't sure at the beginning when it was just a parasite, but seeing the different level of intelligence that it's exhibiting is really interesting and engaging. I like how it kind of knows, not like communicate with people, but it's just doing it's just got this smart thing behind it. And on top of that, I like too that when it took over the goat, I guess the sheep, when it stood on its hind legs, it was doing that. And I feel like because that's a human thing to do, we walk on our hind legs, and then I think it took it a second and realized this thing walks on all four legs, and so it went back down onto its four legs and just, it's like it just blends in. And I wonder if it how much it absorbs. Does it absorb thoughts or intelligence from the brain, like the main
I imagine
brain
it
bug
has
from
to
Starship
for
Troopers?
I imagine it has to like a certain level, like probably the what's the word used? Like your subconscious feelings. Like, right now I'm sitting here, but like without thinking about it, like I actually have a lot of muscles activated to like keep me upright, right? Where if I just like passed out, I wouldn't just be sitting right like this. I'd be limp on the ground. And like when it takes control of Buddy Mechanic, like it's standing there and like using its limbs. So I think very clearly it can pilot the body to that level. It doesn't speak English, so it's not like it just absorbs that area of the brain. I'm hoping maybe our they're not heroes to me, but I'll call them heroes. Are humans in this world, or synths, or whoever is interacting. I guess it's the prodigy people, right, that have the rights to these science. I don't know. The lawyers are getting involved next week. It sounds like Yutani told us to figure out what's going on here. But yeah, I'm hoping that our humans or whoever studies these things and gives us some answers on kind of what's going on with the thought process there. And I mean, now they're studying it in sheep form, which is interesting. I can't remember. It didn't get out right in last week's. Like it's just in the cage right now, just waiting.
Everything is contained right now, except the xenomorph that's like the little puppy dog to Wendy.
Oh right, yeah. She's gonna be fucking riding that thing.
Yeah,
Like a warg into
yeah.
battle. It just if that happens, this is dead to me. There's no way Ripley is en route right now.
Come on, brother. Throws a brother on behind. We're leaving this place.
To never ever land. Be young forever. You can get your own body.
Speaking of bodies, though,
there you go.
the saboteur, we learned that he was promised his own body if he could survive doing what he's doing.
What do you think he's
here.
choosing? You think he's choosing like some athletic god? Is he choosing a female body, big boobs? What's he doing? He's getting
Absolutely.
triple boob,
Oh yeah, the triple boob, triple boob or one boob. That's the kind of guy he is.
or just a big blue lady. He's going full Navi.
He's a Pandoran. He saw those movies
Make me
and he
8 feet
liked it.
tall.
Yeah. I mean, technically, they could make him whatever body he wanted in that context. They could make him some,
They
8
wouldn't
foot tall
do
Navi.
that. There's no way they actually would have gave him that body. I think they would have
Cost of
just given him the
billions.
old. Yeah, exactly. Trillions, zillions, probably. It's like it's like the secrecy that's involved in this project they have. Like they're all on this island, right? Like they're not allowed to talk about who they were before. They're not fucking letting this guy get his own body and
I
just
think
go
they
off in the
would,
sunset.
because if for him to pull off something like this, is the Prodigy a shady company? Yes, but look what they did with the brother. They were definitely gonna, screw him over
now.
financially for now, but they were gonna screw him over financially. But they did give him a replacement lung, and they've been pretty open with him. Okay, we have these alien entities, we're doing experiments, yada yada yada. So, I think that there is a varying degree of, inclusion, and so I think that they probably would give him one, because that's what they wanted to do.
Cocks.
Oh yeah,
Each one bigger
they'll
than
do
the
it.
last.
On his hands, on his feet, it's everywhere.
It's like everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah,
Couple fingers.
exactly. But I think like even Prodigy made a point of saying like, okay, you're gonna be on the top of the list when we get to doing it, because we are not at that point technologically for adults to make that transfer. So I think like that's their goal. They want to create these bodies for adults to transfer into. So I mean, if this guy wants to do it, then we'll do it, especially because he's giving us all these alien entities and whatnot. So that proves to be, I'd say, him being a valuable asset in the future if they needed him for something too. So I think that there's a high chance that they were going to give him what he wanted, but there's no chance he was going to survive letting these fucking aliens out. He chose to let out 2 fucking face huggers. Like, are you kidding me? 2 of them. You have 2 xenomorphs running around. And what was his plan? They were going to run around and then the ship, like 17 days, 2 weeks out, he's going to survive 2 weeks with these fucking aliens running around.
Yeah.
And I guess he thought that, okay, they would have put them in the cryo and it would have been fine as he sabotages the ship. But, like, he didn't have to let them out. All he had to
No.
do was sabotage the ship and then just go back into cryo and go to sleep. Well, no, because then he would
Is
have
that
been
what
found
happened?
out.
Did he let them out, or was there just eggs in the cargo that just
They were-
woke up because somebody was in that room?
He opened the containment
Mm.
casings because they were in like 2 boxes, and you can see in the camera the door opening slowly. So yeah,
Right.
he
Okay, I
opened them
forgot
up.
about that detail.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
What was I gonna say on that guy? I can't remember. Something we were talking about. Yeah, I don't remember. I did like just the chaos of everything that was going on. I already mentioned it, but I like just the added factor of like we have fire, we have Xenos, we have polluted water, we have people doing science with open water container. You know, we got DEFCON 5 situation here, and like half the crew. And this is a goofy thing where I feel like it's stupid, but I still enjoyed it. Like most of the crew, they just don't really care. You know, like we're getting home soon, living in a tunnel. At this point in time, there is what's been known to us the most apex species in the entire universe, just hunting humans in the fucking ceiling. You got face hugging people who could sprout some bad things. And then just Moreau is just he's in his security lab, just on the monitors, which aesthetically looks so sweet. It does not bug me seeing these weird like 80s era TVs, you know, with future
no.
technology. This is like my favorite type of just what's the word I'm looking for? Like future tech where it's like old, dirty, grimy. Like I just love these aesthetic. There's always just like vents like gassing all time for whatever reason. Moreau is like huffing these big Cuban cigars throughout this episode. And I thought he had one when he was on the monitor because he's got like 10 monitors in front of him, and I'm saying monitors, but they're basically just these 80s CRT TVs, big glass bulbous on the front, and he's just like on his chair like going down the line and just looking at them all, and there's just this like vent just gassing steam. I imagine that like the ship has to be so hot in this room, but man, aesthetically it looks so fucking cool. I love it so much. I love the buttons that he has where they don't have anything on them, they're just lights and he's just clicking them away. Aesthetically this was just such an awesome adventure back into like these types of Weyland-Yutani ships, which I just love. And I think that's why this stood out so much to me as being like my favorite episode so far, because it's like, oh yeah, this is the alien that I know and love. Whereas when we're on Earth, like the attempt to try and tell new stories like that's not the stuff that I'm disinterested in. It's just what I'm seeing here of like calling back to my nostalgia. I think that's why I lifted up so much higher in comparison to just some of the areas that we've gone in the show so far. There was something else I was gonna throw, but can't quite remember.
There's a scene where he's doing his interviews, Morrow, and he's interviewing the science officer, and
He's just
like,
dripping.
well, that's right. He's like, "You're sweating," and he's like, "Yeah, you know, it's just it's you know, recycled farts and whatnot." But like he is sweating, but literally he's like, "What the fuck?" Because there's like water dripping off the ceiling and just sprouting all over his face, so it looks like he's fucking sweating. Just to add to the scenery of that room, really really cool aesthetic and whatnot. So
yeah, and then you got I think it was only 2 interviews you did, one with that guy and then the other one with Tang, who is he's not human, is he human?
no, he was a synthetic, and there's something off with him as a synthetic. He was
Very odd.
yeah.
Very like keep an eye on that guy type of mood I'm getting with this one. I loved it though because he's like speaking in riddles. Like every time that we see him, Moreau he's like, "You're going to see her again." That's fucked up, man. It's just like the whole situation that Tang's doing with that chick is just so odd. Um, very just yeah, odd duck. He's chain smoking these cigarettes. He just seems so yeah, I don't know, odd throughout the whole thing. The most human reaction I've ever seen to, is when he's in the interrogation chamber and he looks up and he just sees the fucking xenomorph above him and he's doing like the Willem Dafoe like, oh no, and he just screams. He like yells, which was so like uncharacteristic to this like super just trippy, calm. I'll say stoic because I can't really think of a better word to use, but he's just
Mhm.
like so like reserved in his emotions. Like he doesn't like freak out when people get face hugged or anything. But then he looks up, and you know it's gotta be scary when this motherfucker is like shit in his pants. I couldn't believe his reaction because it was so different than what I would have expected. And yeah, he got fucked up. I'm assuming we didn't see it fully happen, but
He got
it's not like
fucked
the
up.
Xenos
Yeah.
have a use for this guy, right? If he's a synthetic.
No, they're killing him for sure. And that's what the other guy, the other fighter guy, reported too that he got fucked up. Yeah, very peculiar, and they just had him there for just yeah creating weird drama, I guess. But yeah, just the scene where you see him in this episode standing over the girl that he likes, and he like places his hand. There was so much just different like interesting shots because when the new captain pours the dirt from Utah on the cryo tube of her
Wait, what
lover.
did
You
you
can
say?
see the
What's the
what?
state? What's the state?
Utah?
Okay, it sounded weird. It sounded like
Oh,
Uda.
Uda.
I don't know. Maybe
Uh,
maybe my earbuds are
maybe
starting to go.
maybe I said the Uda. So she pours the dirt and it lands on the spot on the crowd tube. But the way the camera is showcasing it, it shows like the dirt looks red and it's right on his chest where the Xeno is gonna burst out. And then later on, it shows where this
Just quick cut to them fucking too.
Oh yeah,
I
that
was
caught me
ready
off
for that.
guard. Holy crap! Yeah, that caught me off guard completely. It looked like it was in the cryo world, like the aliens are and the eggs and shit. So they're just people got their kinks. But the scene though after that, where Tang was just watching the girl, he puts his hand down on the cryo tube, but his hand is placed right over like her location of the nether regions. And I feel like
Oh
there's just a
god.
lot of shots in here that are intentional. I know Alien has always had that kind of, it's supposed to have that focal point on just, you know, just
Say it.
like just rape and just that just like insecure, just like just it's not good, but it's focusing on that. And I feel like
Mm.
okay, there's something going on with Tang, and the way all the crew kind of knows it and is just addressing it loosely. And like even the one guy's like, oh, I'm going to go tell the captain about you. The captain's dead. It's like, oh god,
Oh
this is
yeah.
fucked. This is so fucked. So and the girl, I feel bad for the girl because obviously she dies in her cryo tube, so doesn't get to yeah know the extent of how fucked up this guy is. But it seems like there was some kind of pre-existing notion like she was uncomfortable with him or whatever. But we'll never know now.
I like hope there's more. I don't. No, I don't even know why I'm saying that. I don't think there will be, and I don't really understand the decision to like make that in
Yeah,
here
because
for
it
like that
doesn't do
specific
much.
character. Because it's not like it's gonna be picked up. Like that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I hope we get a little more backstory on what the fuck actually was going on of just who this other individual is, like why Tang just gets drawn to that individual. But I don't think we ever will because they're dead now, and nobody will answer that. And I don't really need to know. I don't really need those answers now that I'm stewing on it.
Yeah, unless there is some other mission he had or some reason why. I just
It's
don't know it
Wayland
yet. We'll
Yutani's.
never Wayland
Or I guess not Wayland Yutani. It would be Wayland's offspring. No, that's impossible. There's no way.
There was a line that Bishop says, yeah, the statement the B2s were a bit. Oh no, that was a misquote. What did he say? Oh, the A2s were a bit twitchy. I'm assuming Mr. Tang is one of
The
those fucking
A2s were very
A2s.
sexual.
Oh yeah, yeah, twitchy, erratic behavior. There is this is just a side note what I was reading. Gosh, hang on with me. Other aliens. It seems like, and I think we talked about this in the Aliens retrospective. Because when the Colonial Marines were on the ship, they were talking about bug hunts, which tells me, okay, maybe they've encountered some of these other species before aside from the xenomorphs, and they just never were able to encounter xenomorphs after the fact. But then Arcturians, they mentioned that, and Arcturians have never been mentioned in any other like IP, I don't think, of like aliens or
Hmm.
even predators or whatnot. But they talk about how the Arcturians like bipedal and like similar to humans or whatnot, and how they're like colonial marines are talking about like sleeping around with them and stuff like that. So it just it seems like in this world there are other like conscious sentient humanoid beings. Obviously we know with predators and with the space jockeys, but it seems like there's even a further step with this. I don't know why I'm going down this side tangent. It popped into my head when we were talking about the different alien species. And yeah,
We're fucking
but
them
anyways,
all.
back to the eyes, full circle.
Back to the eyes.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything else that you have?
let me just check my notes here. I wrote some things down. Oh, as per my name, yeah, I like that line when Moreau confronts like the new captain. She's like, "You're fucking him, aren't you?" She's like, "You don't get lonely in space," and I'm like, "Man, if you're signing up to go to space for 65 years and you're like, well, I'll just hold it, I'll just hold all my urges. Like, come on, you got to be prepared. You got to have whatever you're doing, whether you got sex toys or something. There's the jerk off station.
Well, Morrow's got that
something."
robot arm. You know what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's a master at what he
Oh,
does.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I just feel like this is something that they should have like prepared for, right? Like you get water, you get food. There's probably a gym or something on the ship. 65 years, a long time. I know you're in cryo for a lot of that, but humans, we're mammals. We get sexual urges, so you gotta figure out a way to address that. But anyways, oh yeah, and then my name, I changed it to Voyeur just because Moreau was just watching people this one, and it just sounded funny. So there you go. I wrote down that this crew is probably the dumbest crew that Weyland-Yutani ever could have hired, especially for this being like probably the most critical. I would argue a lot more critical than what Ripley's mission was. We already talked about Tang. Oh man, when I think his name is Clem. He's like the younger chap who is working kind of with Moreau. Moreau gives him a gun, and when they're going down to the sciencey area, like they're looking for I can't remember his name now, but the saboteur guy. They have a name now. They kind of know who they're looking for. Do a quick shootout. This kid gets fucked up. I think he gets shot like 5 times in this scene. Gets shot in the shoulder, gets shot in the leg when they're going into the lab, which is like, man, what a terrible area to like have your like stand down. Like you got just creatures free in this room and you're just gonna sneak in there. Whatever. Dire Straits, I get it. I just found it hilarious that Moreau like has Clem next to him. Clem's like bleeding out. Moreau's like aiming at the door. It's like, don't worry, man. We're gonna get out of this. This guy like pops into this room, and like they show from his angle. I don't even know how he fucking got this shot off because it's like Moreau, and then this kid that's showing probably 5% of his body is actually exposed, whereas Moreau is like a good 48%. I'll say, just for argument's sake. This guy fucking domes this poor kid like behind the terrain as if he's using like ballistic bullets. It just goes right through, headshots. I'm like, he wasn't even trying to get Moreau. This is like a master assassin trying to take out his mark. I just found it so funny, especially like he gets clipped right in the head, and then it goes back to the other guy's perspective, and I'm like, I don't understand how he made the shot. That is just.
He wasn't aiming at Moreau at all. Like, cause he shoots the young guy in the shoulder, shoots him again in the leg, and then goes for that headshot.
Yeah. Target acquired. He fucking took out the guy that he was going for. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you kind of brought it up in the spoiler-free section, but the human like Xeno. A little too humanoid for me in certain scenes. It didn't help that you have this guy like riding on his head, and like the Xeno's just flailing around like some drunk idiot. When he's like curled up, looks a lot better. But yeah, just the certain shots looked very alien in suit, which is like they have some humanoid traits. So I don't want to be that guy that it's like his arm is 10 inches too long here in this scene, whatever it might be. But there's just a beauty to hiding the beast, you know, where but I don't know. I sound like some whiner here. So
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, I fucking hate these Xeno chase scenes. I hope I don't get another one in this show where it's like 1,000 meters that this character runs, even though they started right next to the Xeno. Don't make sense. Right at the end, when Utani is conversing with Moreau, and she's like, you know, the lawyers are coming in. He called for arbitration. And Moreau's like, no, that's not gonna fucking work. You gotta do it my way, and my way is I'm gonna kill Boy Cavalier. Um, and then she doesn't really say too much, and then she's walking away. And she's like, give him anything he wants. And you got like, I think it's called like Cherub Rock or something. This like very just, I forgot about this song. I feel like it's like a Guitar Hero song, but it just it's like an early 2000s song. Sounded very out of place. And then it goes to Moreau just like looking out on the town, and it just seems so weird of her being like, give him anything you want, or yeah, anything he wants. And he just looks out. He's like, this city's mine. I can take anything now. I know that's not what actually was said, but just the way that he looked out in the world, it just seemed really strange to me with the music coming in. Didn't love it there.
Do you think there's a chance, and this is probably a long shot or a stretch, that his daughter could be recreated as like a synth or something like that?
Ooh, like one of the Lost Boy children people?
Prodigy is supposed to be the smartest guy in the room, and if they know that this guy is talking to one of the lost children, so maybe Prodigy does something to fuck with him.
I think mind games, perhaps, but not like his actual daughter. I think his actual daughter is
Okay.
like dead.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting theory because like that could be a big mind fuck. But at the same time, like I don't think Prodigy would have known about this guy back then, right? And it seemed like Wayland Utani Corporation is kind of the ones that I don't know what they like were providing for the child or anything. It just seemed like they knew that she died. There was like a fire or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit more to that, just to like give Moreau a turn there, because it just seems like he's so pro Utani Corporation, which I don't even know it's a bad thing because I hate Boy Wonder. So if this is the assassin, they should have fucking kept the other guy alive. Hired the guy that headshotted Clem. That guy don't miss. He's a bullseye in this universe.
That's
right. But I digress. The confession videos, I just found it kind of funny when just the little quick montage, Moreau seeing them all. And we see like the actual captain. It's like, hey, met a girl.
Well, that's not the actual captain. That's the second. The second
I thought
guy.
that was the first captain.
No.
in the video.
So the first, there's the captain, and then there was the second runner-up guy who met the girl and was fucking in the cargo
So who
bay
was the
or
first
whatever.
captain?
The first captain was like an older man that we saw in the first episode, and he ran into the vault first, and he got slapped on first, and then the other guy got hit second.
Right.
Face
Okay,
under.
I forgot about that chap. Good reminder there. Yeah, it was just a funny video. As soon as he says that, like, bro, just like hits next. He's just like so pissed off seeing these people with their little confession videos. It was just a funny little mod. There's some other funny ones in there for sure too. And then just shouting out again, just really cool camera work shots in this. Really cool angles of like, I think it's specifically when Clem and Moreau go into that room when they're doing the shootout, and at some point, like the camera, or no, sorry, I'm thinking of the earlier one. It's when they're evacuating the science room, the two ladies, and like the camera's kind of below a table, and then it like rises and follows them, but it like allows us to see the eyeball like moving around underneath the table. Just a couple cool camera work plays like that throughout the episode I found. It's probably been throughout the whole show, but I think it's just because it's on one of my favorite settings in all of film. This like just claustrophobic ship that just looks really cool, whether it's the sounds going off or the lights. A lot of hallway shots that just slowly transition over to the room, and I just love that stuff because it reminds me of the first Alien, when you don't see the alien and you're like, where is this creature on this spaceship? Like, it's got to be around here somewhere. So yeah, and then just of course seeing the mother room, just such a cool design, even though it's very simple. Yeah, I love the look of that. And then I've already shouted out the security room, so those were kind of all my positive shout outs there at the end.
Perfect. Cool. I don't have anything else in my notes. So I think that does it.
I think it does
Cool.
also.
Cool. Well, yeah, not me, you and Travis will be back next week. I won't be here for that episode next Tuesday. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back soon. Yeah, so we'll see you in the search bar. Have a good one.
Bye.